Cooking with Steve.
Tomorrow, Stephanie, my beautiful wife, and I are flying out to Vegas to spend the 19th through, through the 22nd, but we're flying back on the 22nd. So, the goal of this video is just to kind of show you how Vegas can be done on a budget. We're gonna see a whole lot of things. I took advantage of Travelzoo and Groupon to get good deals on all of our food and a couple activities. As I go through there, I will let you know what we're doing, what our schedule is, what it costs, and pretty much that's it. Steph has never been to Vegas. I've been there once. When I was there, it was with the bachelor party, so we didn't really see a whole lot of the city. We just kind of did some drinking and some gambling and just some guy stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of like tourism stuff like Stephanie and I plan to do. So what I did, there are so many restaurants out there. What I did was I kind of pre-planned all of our meals, lunches and dinners, with the exception of breakfast. Did not do breakfast. And I did that based on what I found on Groupon and Travelzoo for good deals at good restaurants. It's going to be much higher than it normally is this time of year. It's going to be up, up around 115, no exaggeration, 115, 120 every day we're going to be out there. So where I would most likely save a little bit of money in walking from point A to point B, we're going to be using Uber quite a bit. So I'll also include those expenses, and I'll give you a rundown, let you know how much we paid. As far as hotel accommodations, we're staying at the Tropicana, which I use perk points at work. That I earned at work to pay for it, so it didn't cost me anything. It's going to cost about $90 as far as a resort fee goes. That's kind of unavoidable unless you gamble and get them to comp it. But Stephanie's not a big gambler, so we probably won't be spending hardly any time at the tables. As far as airfare, we're flying Southwest, which is newly flying out of Cincinnati. So for that, I used a voucher that we had from some delayed luggage last time we flew, as well as some miles. Ultimately, if we had not used that, our airfare would be roughly $350 to $400 round trip per person. So in the hotel, had we paid full price, it'd probably be roughly $100 a night, just depending. We may or may not have stayed at Tropicana without the deal, but that give you an idea of that. So, but for us, both of those are waived, with the exception of the $90. So this will be the start of the video, and I'll take you through when we get out there. See ya.
Dinner at BLT Steak. The Travelzoo voucher was worth every penny. I'll go into a little bit more detail when I get home about it, but it was awesome.
So today we used two of the Travelzoo vouchers. We used the first one that I purchased for $115. What it bought us was $210 to BLT Steak, a steakhouse at Bally's. I have to say that was absolutely well worth it. The steak there was incredible. The appetizer was decent, but we could have got something else. The drinks were good. I mean, it would have been a very pricey dinner had we not had the Travelzoo voucher, but with the Travelzoo voucher, it was incredibly, it was absolutely well worth it. One of the better steakhouses I've been to. The second thing that we did, and I will include some pictures from these experiences, but the other thing that we bought for $30, I got the Eiffel Tower experience for two, and Stephanie and I went up there. What was it, about 7 o'clock here when we did that? So it was just as the sun was going down. It is directly across the street from the Bellagio. So we got to see the Bellagio fountains a couple times while it was like starting to get dark, so it looked really good. So that was absolutely well worth it. It was a little, that's a little bit pricey. It did save us. The tickets would have cost $50 had I not got the Travelzoo voucher, which I paid $30 for both of us. So $30 total for the two of us. Otherwise, it would have cost $50. So it was a good deal. A little bit pricey even at $30, but it was well worth it. It was cool. We got to see Vegas from a very cool perspective. And after that, we walked across the street, saw the Bellagio fountains close up, got a couple good pictures. It was darker, so it looked really cool. Steph actually took a video of the entire fountain show from the top of the Eiffel Tower. So I'm gonna see, maybe I'll include that in this video too. Anyway, if I learned one thing today, we did use the Uber to get to dinner, but we attempted to walk back from there, and when you're not all that well worth these, or when you're not all that well experienced with Vegas, and these places are absolutely built like mazes, spend the extra few bucks on an Uber because it would have been well worth it. Anyway, we're about to check out for the night. Got another day ahead of us. See you tomorrow. Las Vegas. This is our first full day here. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. We had a quick breakfast, just got a Starbucks and some yogurt. But right now we are at the Bellagio, and we're about to check out the Tropical Botanical Garden, which doesn't cost anything. Let you know how it goes. Garden at Bellagio. That was pretty awesome. It was a little smaller than I was expecting, so we took a nice tour of a couple of the fancy shops at Bellagio too. We are now walking over to Caesars. Hello everybody. So we're in the Palms Casino right now, which is off the strip. It was about $8 Uber ride from the main strip. We just used our Groupon for Cafe 6, which is a hamburger restaurant with a free flight of craft beers. So ultimately it was valued at like $52. I paid $26 for it, and we went 20 bucks over because we drank a little bit, but hamburgers were incredible. So hit you back later. Hello. So we are back in the room now, getting ready to go to dinner. Yes, I cut myself shaving. That's all right though. We had, so we went to Bellagio today for the Botanical Garden. That was cool. We walked through Caesars, got some good pictures in there. That was awesome. Then we went over to the Palms and had lunch at Cafe 6. That was really good. I'll give you details of the Groupons later on in this video. Then Steph left her cell phone in the Uber that we took to get back to the hotel. So I contacted the Uber driver, offered him 20 bucks to come drop it off. He came, and we've been kind of relaxing a little bit in the room since. I did go to the Hooters Hotel and Casino while Stephanie was relaxing. That place is kind of a dump, but whatever. We are now getting ready to go to our dinner at Koi, which I got on Groupon. That's at Planet Hollywood. And then after Koi, we are going to maybe go walk through the Wynn and just kind of see how it is. I've been there, it's pretty nice. Steph has not been there. After that, we are going to go see the volcano at the Mirage, which does not cost anything. And then we are going to go to Cirque du Soleil, Mystere or Mystery, however it's pronounced. That I did pay full price for. We got front row tickets, but that was a Mother's Day present, so I'll spend a little extra for my beautiful, wonderful baby's mother. All right, well, I'll check back in later and let you know how everything went. See ya. So the beautiful wife and I just got back from our adventures today. Quick recap, I already told you what we did for lunch. For dinner, we went to Koi at Planet Hollywood. It was excellent. The Uber was reasonable. I'll tell you a little bit more about the price when I edit this video. It was a very good dinner. Then we went to, where did we go after Koi? Then we went up to Treasure Island, got us a Starbucks, and we used our.
We saw the volcano.
Oh, we saw the Mirage, or we went to the Mirage to see the volcano. That cost nothing. That was pretty cool, and that was right next door to Treasure Island, which we went to go watch Mystere, the Cirque du Soleil show that I bought Steph tickets to. So that was pretty cool. We are now probably like midnight Vegas time right now, which equates to about 3 a.m. Ohio time. So we are checking in for the night. It is, we're pretty worn out. See you tomorrow. Final day in Vegas. It's Wednesday. We're flying out tomorrow. We've decided to forego the flamingo habitat at Tropicana, or not at Tropicana, at the Flamingo actually, in favor of checking out the Venetian and the Wynn. We also had to spend like 10 bucks on some band-aids because Steph got a blister, almost $11, so we're adding that to the expenses. So after we check out Venetian and the Wynn, we're heading to the Link, where we have a Groupon for lunch at a place called Flour and Barley, which I believe is a pizza restaurant, so we'll let you know how that is. Then we've also got a Groupon to do the High Roller, which is a giant Ferris wheel, and it also has a half-hour happy hour. I'll let you know how it goes. Right now we're at the Flamingo Outdoor Wilderness Habitat. We just got off of the Link High Roller. We had a bunch of drinks and Steph was kind of drunk, but that's okay. This Flamingo Habitat was pretty close to the Link, and I'll tell you what, for not charging any admission, this thing is absolutely worth seeing. This is really cool. A lot of koi, a lot of flamingos and exotic ducks and stuff. Pretty awesome. What up? We're back in Cincinnati. So I just realized that I did not finish this video. So we actually got back about a month ago at this point. So I'm gonna review the last things we did at the final day and kind of give a rundown of the total cost. So final day, we ultimately ended up going. We did the half-hour happy hour at the Link, which is the big Ferris wheel thing by the Link Hotel. We ended up having to buy a second ticket for that because I thought the Travel Zoo voucher was actually for 2 people, where it was actually for 1 person. So I had to buy one at the door. So that ended up not being as great of a savings as I had hoped for, but it was pretty cool. And we were the only people on the Link, like the Ferris wheel pod, that had the bar in it. So we had the bartender all to ourselves. We did tip him pretty nicely, but we also got pretty lit up, as you probably just saw in the Flamingo Habitat exhibit. Anyway, we had lunch at Flour and Barley before we went there. That was really good. And then to top the day off, we ended up going to a restaurant in the Stratosphere Tower called McCall's. We had steak and lobster. That was probably the best food we had the whole time we were there. Then we went up to the top of the Stratosphere and just checked out the view from up there. It was pretty awesome. Sorry about that. Had to do a quick task. Anyway, so McCall's at Stratosphere was awesome. We had steak and lobster. We went up to the top of the tower. We didn't do any like the rides or anything up there, although that did look like it could have been a pretty cool deal. But also, I don't know, it was crazy. Anyway, so after we went to the Stratosphere Tower, we did go and check out downtown Vegas, or I should say the Fremont Street experience. That was, I thought it was cool. If I go back out there with my friends again, I'm sure I think that'll be worth checking out with them. It was a little bit much for Steph. She's not real big into crowds and loud music, and it was pretty loud out there. A little trashy too, but I kind of like that. Anyway, so we did that. So, looking at the entire trip, we had a resort fee, which was $98.64. We ended up spending $189.40 on Ubers and taxis. With experiences and just activities and stuff, we spent about $267. Food was about $690.79 after all the Travel Zoo, Groupons, tips, and other just one-off items. Then we had $162.72 of just miscellaneous expenses and like souvenirs and stuff like that. I did win about $200 at the tables playing blackjack, and so our total costs there were $1,407.61 for the entire trip. Keep in mind there, the hotel, aside from the resort fee, the hotel was paid for. Well, with perk points from work, so it didn't cost me any actual money. With the airfare, we used a voucher and some points from Southwest, so that didn't cost anything, although that would have been that would have been $748.96, which is pretty expensive because we flew out of Cincinnati. But that expense was out of there. So total cost, had we paid for everything, would have been, and I'm also factoring in the non-discounted prices of the vouchers, like the value of what we got for our vouchers. Total cost would have been $2,762.57, which really I don't think is all that bad. But because we did it on a budget, we did it for $1,407.61. Difference of $1,354.96. So I think we did pretty well. I would like to go back. Next time we go on a trip, we'll probably do it similar thing where we buy some vouchers and stuff ahead of time, but I'll let you know as we
Cooking with
have some
Steve.
travels.